The next iron that I'll talk about.
Great segue.
ZXi7.
That's this bad boy.
That one. So you picked that up straight away, and you love the look of that, didn't you?
I do really like this.
Well, I need to get straight off the bat here. This might be my iron of the year so far.
Wow.
It is currently...
Pictures up there. Which angle do you want people to see it from first?
Any angle.
Oh, get any angle.
There's not a bad angle for this one.
Oh, I can wall up at once.
So...
That's a lot of work.
This is currently fighting out for a place in my boat. So within one session of testing it out,
really nice,
I messaged the guys at Srixon and said, look, I know you've sent me I think it was the 4, 6, 8 and wedge maybe. So I'm going to need the odd numbers here. I need to fill this set in because these are great. Any chance you can hook me up? And they've been kind enough to provide the rest or en route. And along with the P7 CB from TaylorMade, currently fighting it out for
Is this where this iron sits? Is this where this iron sits? In...
Just very much a compact player's cavity iron. So the better player. So low, anything from, so you
compare it to other things again, yeah.
TaylorMade P7 CB, Titleist T100,
okay.
Callaway,
I know what world
Apex
we're in now.
CB.
I know what world we're in now.
That kind of stuff. This will be the iron that the bulk of their tour staff will be using, and I saw Sepp Straka go straight into it at the Century. It's not a massive shift from where the ZX7 Mark II was in terms of the visuals, but the feel is significantly enhanced for me.
And you said the feel is going to be the main story running through this.
Honestly, yes. They've taken a brilliant product that they already had. Srixon the ZX7 and the ZX7 Mark II, much like G430, LST, or other products, TaylorMade QI10, big favourite of the non-contracted players, and that's always a really good indication of a high quality product. They've taken that and they've made it better. The feel is the most notable thing. They've done a lot of work with using softer steels. Just the whole thing is brilliant. The sole,
so it's the same. What do they call it again?
Tor VT sole. So it's quite pronounced, isn't it? You can really see the topography.
It's so pronounced, and again, we'll show this for people watching, but I'll try and describe it. It's so pronounced, this ridge in the middle of the sole, that they can't put the number of the iron through the middle of it. So they've had to pick a side. So it's a bit boss-eyed. It's looking. It can't. Which eye should I look at? Which is fine. It's beside the point, isn't it? But it's so different to any other iron. Which that number 6 there would and should be centralised. It should, but would be centralised in most places.
One eye in heaven, the other one in Devon. So yeah, no, I just think from a testing point of view as well, I'm talking from the back could be argued there might be better looking irons on the market. Well, I don't necessarily love
agree.
Within the cavity.
I love within the cavity this it's like a matte, it's got a texture on it. That's the first thing I spotted actually.
See, we're very opposite with these things. That's one of the things I didn't love.
Is it?
Yeah, but we do differ on our aesthetic opinions.
And that's why we get on so well.
Wonderful team, isn't it? But yeah, so I'd argue there's potentially some better looking irons from the rear position, but it's far from a bad looking iron from that position. It's really, really nice. But down behind the ball, the dimensions to me are just perfect. The blade length isn't too stubby, which sometimes when you're going into this sort of better player category, people are trying to squeeze it as neat and compact as possible to really appeal to that better player.
So it's not too short.
It's not too short. They've just created a nice balance of having it short enough to look playery, but still having enough blade length to give you some confidence. Tiny bit of offset, but not too much. Everything's just so balanced about it. There's nothing, like I said, the blade length to me is the perfect middle ground. The offset is the perfect middle ground. It's not onset in any way. It's not people chasing this zero offset, not people chasing the thinnest top line. It's just a really beautifully balanced profile, and the feel is just exquisite. It's soft, it's sturdy, the spin rates are so consistent. I've just not really got enough good things to say about the ZXi7. It's got an eye in it.
That's fine.
What do you think about that?
We spoke about that, didn't we? But listen, that is, as you said, it's probably the best praise you've given an iron on the show yet. What was your iron of the year last year? Because what went in the bag was that TaylorMade, you just mentioned it.
P7 CB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's having a ding-dong battle with that, is it?
Currently is, yeah. I'd be interested to put them head-to-head, get some more data, because
let's do that one episode.
Well, let's do it, yeah. Anecdotally, I can't really split them. They both feel great. There's a really interesting feel with that P7 CB that I love. Shaping's great. It might purely just come down to which which is better looking sort of competition.
Would you rather, we've spoken about the discerning sort of more different golfer who'd like a Srixon in the bag. Ooh. Do you want to be that guy who's like, yeah, I play Srixon irons, no big deal, whatever?
Yeah, you think I'm getting a bit... I've got mates like that, particularly mate Elliot. He'll be listening. He loves to be different, and
I'll give a set of these.
Maybe he'll be that guy. But yeah, no, it'd be interesting. I'm looking forward.
We'll do a head-to-head for that. Well, again, another pin for the. I've got a pin board. I never use it, so put a pin in that. I can't remember what I put a pin in last week. So let's move ourselves up the handicap spectrum here into what have we got?
ZXi5. So again, excellent. I don't know many players that wouldn't get on with this. It's got such a broad appeal. So
sorry to help me get what world are we in here compared to
we're into kind of more the player's distance. So I'll sit this alongside a Mizuno Pro 245, a TaylorMade P770, some things of that
things
nature.
Like that.
But again, from the back there, when I put that on, for those of you listening, I'm putting it next to the ZXi7 for Dan. There's not much in it, is there?
No, that the texture of that bit I really liked on the 7's different.
Yeah, which I prefer.
More, which you probably prefer. Otherwise, a bit of black around the mainframe technology, which I'm guessing isn't in the 7.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell the difference, Joe.
Correct.
Can't tell the difference, mate, which is not bad for a jump up like that.
Which is, again, something I think Srixon have done really well throughout this range, created that cohesion. So those people who want to combo sets aren't going to have any difficulty doing so. I'm just looking at them both in the playing profile position now. There's just no tricks with Srixon. There's nothing that doesn't look like it should be there. We've got probably 2% more offset on the ZXi5. I haven't got an offset scale.
Got a scale for us.
We've probably got a couple of mil extra blade length and a marginally thicker top line. So we're just going up the usability scale in terms of all of those. And yeah, it's got a bit more pop to it. It's really punchy. It's stronger in loft. So I think the 7 iron in the ZX5 comes in at 31 degrees. So it's in that stronger realm.
Side,
there's 28s and 20. There's some monster ones. So it's on that stronger sides. But yeah, so basically it's been condensed forged, which means specific areas have been strengthened to fine-tune the performance. So very specific targeted areas of the steel have been provided with some extra structure and strength, and that added support has allowed some softer materials to be used in the head because it's got some of those strengthened areas. You can use a softer base steel, which provides, again, just unbelievable feel. So for those of you looking for something with a bit of punch, sometimes you have to compromise that feel. Sometimes you get that. Some of those hollow-bodied, filled players' distance irons can feel a bit harsh or a bit clicky or a bit zoomy. This just feels... I'd sit this alongside the Mizuno JPX 925 forged as something that feels very different to how it performs. This feels as good as that ZXi7. Soft, syrupy, feels like just a forged high quality iron, which it is, but it just packs the punch of something that that doesn't.
It's got a bit of a bigger swing than the 7. For
exactly.
If you're talking punches, it's got a bigger reach. Maybe
it's got a bigger reach potentially. Yeah, and it's interesting sometimes as a club tester. I like to think I know what I'm doing, and
so do I.
And I like to think I know what I get from a feel point of view. And sometimes you strike a shot, and you within a millisecond, I can go, okay, I know what that's done.
Yeah.
Not necessarily towed it, but I mean, even if I flushed it, and you're being mean, weren't you? And you said I healed it. But even within a millisecond, even if I flushed it, I could give you probably a fairly accurate representation of what the carry distance might be, the spin rate. I could give you fairly accurate, swift rundown of that. But irons like the ZXi5 here and the Mizuno JPX forged, they throw you off because you hit them and think, I've got a little soft forged, lovely, okay, that'll be 175. And then you look up and it's gone 190.
So it's telling you one thing with your hands, with the balls actually doing something entirely different.
Exactly. So you just get, I love that. You get in that sort of, what's the right word? That lovely, sophisticated feel, but you get in that really assisted performance. Yeah. It's a lovely, lovely blend. And I think loads of people are going to absolutely love that, right down to some, the very lowest of players. I wouldn't be surprised to see a few of those
comboed.
Comboed, yeah, I would imagine.
Or would you just go 7 through the bag if you are in 7?
I think, yeah, I mean, the press release, funnily enough, they state that they feel like the ZXi7 will combo better with the ZXi4, the utility. Not again.
Sorry.
The utility irons at
I'm
the
going
top
through
end
that
of
every
the
time.
bag,
I understand.
At the top end of the bag, whereas the ZXi5, they feel from the loft point of view, will combo better with the ZXi4 that we're going to talk about in a minute.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
However, I still do feel you'll probably see a few of the Srixon staff players maybe chuck in that 4 or 5 iron, 3, 4 or 5 iron, in fact, in the ZX5s if they're 7 players, just to get that bit more pop and that bit more oomph at the top end of the bag. I just think it does everything it's supposed to do.
Is that the best feeling in that category?
It's tight. It's probably between that and that Mizuno JPX 925 Forge that I've spoken about.
We've not spoken about on the pod yet.
We've not spoken about the pod that I spoke about 2 sentences ago.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. You made it sound like you spoke about it in some sort of general way.
I didn't make it sound like anything. You took it one way.
We've not mentioned that yet, but I'll put a link in the description. You can read Joe's review. Maybe we'll mention it because
that is very impressive.
Is that a good iron as well?
But that, for irons in that category, if you're someone who wants that additional punch, that additional distance, and you want a bit of a boost, but you don't want to compromise, you sort of, maybe you're getting older and you've used forged clubs that feel really soft for years. You want that bit of an extra assistance, but you don't want to compromise on that feel. That's a good space for you to live in between those two.
That's recommended by Joe the Pro. Right, finally, Joe, last few minutes on Srixon. I've just picked up the 5 again.
ZXi4, the game improvement model.
Can I say one thing about the numbering here?
Go on.
Why have they gone to 4? 4, 5, 7? That makes sense. But
well, that's been the way for quite a while with Srixon.
Yeah, but what if you're not paying attention to Srixon's numbering system and you're just entering golf for the first time, Joe? It doesn't make any sense. They should all be odd numbers.
What would you call it? The Srixon easy, medium and hard?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Why not?
3, 5, 7. Yeah, that's a good point.
Do you know what I mean? Just numbers, mate.
Crikey, that doesn't make me. Yeah, you're right.
Actually, fine. It's the one thing I can comment on is names. It's as far as my brain will go. So we're back again. We're up the spectrum here.
We're up the spectrum in every sense of the word. Game improvement model. So we've got a 2-piece hollow construction, essentially. 2 different steels. So the main body is, I guess, a slightly firmer steel, and then the soft. They introduced a much softer one for the face cup area. So it's got a longer blade length, thickish top line, and decent offset. But I just think it's disguised superbly.
Yeah, I was just going to say that behind the ball, it's disguised superbly as to what it is, and again, that back cavity is gorgeous.
Yeah, I haven't got as much to say on this. I mean, I've tested it well. It produces really good numbers. It goes absolutely...
I bet it goes miles for
yeah,
you.
it really does. It's got a big beefy muscle in the cavity. But I just think... From a sophistication point of view, looks-wise, I'd say I still probably would give it to the Callaway Elite in this game improvement category.
Because this is a out-and-out game improvement iron, isn't it?
Yeah, so that sits alongside that. I'd probably give the Callaway Elite just the edge in terms of visually. We were swooning over that,
I would as well.
But I think it's a great-looking iron for this. And again, my bugbear about sort of patronising higher handicap players. This is very sophisticated.
There's none of that
the finish
because
is
it's
great.
so cohesive with what is, the clubs down the
Minimal,
range.
no brash colours, just lovely. Yeah, absolutely. And it's got that Tour VT sole, which... Again, is something I loved about the Callaway Elite iron is they paid attention to the sole and the detailing there to help with turf interaction, which I still think is really, really important at the game improvement level. And holistically, taking away the looks, I think this feels better than the Callaway Elite iron. So I'd give the Elite, I don't know how this has turned into a head-to-head, but
it's fun, it's all good, informative stuff.
The Elite looks better for me. This is a very close second in terms of its looks. It feels a lot better than Elite. It's softer, it's springier. They produce similar numbers in terms of performance, so it's pretty tight between the two of them. But these comfortably so far would be my favourite 2 game improvement irons in here. But I would just say, on the whole, it's probably the most sophisticated overall, holistically within this category. Not necessarily the look. It's like that one mate we've all got that dresses smart, maybe wears a cravat out or something like that every
but
now
they can pull it off.
Yeah, reads philosophy, listens to political podcasts.
Yeah,
just got something
got a great family, nice house,
something a bit classy about him.
But it's not shouty about the car.
No,
or his family. They just get on.
Yeah, we'll offer you a lift, but don't say, come and have a lift in my whatever.
We'll have a lift. It happens to be nice.
Understated, but really, really strong. Just an excellent race for Srixon.